I know so many people have been struggling with their CVs. That is why I decided I want to do a video whereby I talk about what you need and basically what should be in your CV, because I realized that people put a lot of unnecessary things on their CVs and they end up uh, even confusing the employer more. And most employers have like 6 seconds to check your CV. So if your CV has a lot of unimportant things, definitely the recruiter will not even check your CV. So if this is something you want to hear, watch this video to the end and don't forget to subscribe if you are not. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up down there, because that is what tells YouTube that we are doing a good job. You can also ask your questions in the comment section so that we get to help you as you help us in our growth. So basically there are things you need if you are drafting your CV, and I'll want to categorize them in few words so that you get to understand. So basically, let me see how many things I have. I have like 10 items I'll be pointing out in your CV, which are very important. So the first one is the format and structure. The format and structure of your CV speaks volumes about what is contained in the CV and who you are as a person, as a candidate. So don't put a lot of items. Don't use a format which is obsolete, because there are so many formats and the structures which are obsolete, which were used in the 1970s and 80s, and contents or items which are not important in a CV of the 21st century, especially in the year 2023 and beyond. You should not be using a CV which contains irrelevant information. So start with personal details that is given. You need to start with personal details. That is your name, your contact information. That is maybe your phone number. And for phone numbers, make sure that you start with the prefix. So if the prefix for your home country is 254, 255, 246, start with that plus 25 something or plus 55. It depends with which country you are watching this video from. The other thing is a professional profile, because as a job seeker, you should not be without a profile in LinkedIn. And that is one thing I talked about in another video, whereby I said if you're a job seeker, you should be having a LinkedIn or a portfolio in our websites. So a link can be LinkedIn or a portfolio, because you can be a person who is looking for jobs related with photography, and that needs you to show a portfolio whereby you placed the works you've done, the videos you've recorded, and such things. Uh, Without forgetting, you need to know how to use clear headings to organize some sections such as education, work experience, skills, and also achievements which you have achieved in your professional career. The other one is choose a clean and professional font and ensure consistent formatting. You make sure that the formatting you use is consistent from the start of the CV to the end. So those are details related to the format and structure, which are very important, and you need to follow them to the latter if you want the recruiter to even open your CV. Number two is to tailor your CV. And I'm looking for an easy way to explain this. You need to customize your CV for each and every job you want to apply for, because someone applying for a waiter job or a waitress job, and another person applying for example, a chef job, would be different, because the job description in the advertisement would be different. If you are applying for a certain job, you need to highlight the most relevant skills and experience, such that you are not putting skills and experiences which are not relevant to the job you are applying for. So, what you need to do is to read carefully the job description and research on the company with which you are applying for this job. So, let's say, for example, you are applying for a job in a certain cruise ship company. You need to research that cruise ship company, know the ports they dock, and how long the journey takes, and what is required for you as a waiter. For example, if you're applying for a waiter job, then that will help you to understand their requirements, and more so the values of the company, because the values, they can be having different values from the ones you think are related to all companies. The other thing I want to talk about under customizing or tailoring your CV is to emphasize the skills and accomplishments that align with the job you're applying for. So make sure that you emphasize. Make sure that you bolden. Make sure that you write more of the skills and accomplishment which are aligned to the job, and that is something you can pick from the description of the job and basically the whole thing surrounding the job you are applying for. Number three is to you need to know something which is called a professional summary or objective statement, which again is a title in the CV, and this needs to be concise and compelling. And it should outline the experiences and the skills and with clear career goals. So for example, you're applying for, let's stick with the with the waiter or waitress job. That just stick with me so that we use that one. So if you are applying for that job, you need to demonstrate that you've gotten experience, for example, in a five-star hotel, and you've gotten skills in such and such a thing, and your career goals are this and that. You need to highlight, and you need to be concise in spelling out these career goals and the skills. Then again, you need to highlight your unique selling point. This is what makes you a strong candidate, because you might be applying for this job while you are 20 or 30 or hundreds, and you need to highlight your unique selling point. You might be someone who is so interactive. You might be a person who is so entertaining. So that is your unique selling point as a candidate, and that needs to be something related to the job, to the specific job you're applying for. The other thing you need to highlight, that is item number 4, is a work experience. And this is somewhere I usually find people missing out on their CVs. So you need to list your work experience in a reverse chronological order. So you start with the one you are doing currently. So if, for example, you are working in a certain hotel, start with that, and then go downwards to the other job. So you start with the most recent job, going now downwards. So with that, you need to also include the company name, the title of the job you are holding in that company. Can be a waiter, a waitress. Dates, now then that is where you need to also include the dates. Can be just months and years. For example, April 2022, that is when you started working for these companies. And then again, that is followed by a brief description of your responsibilities while working for that company. And while doing the roles and the responsibility, you need to put what we call bullet points. These bullet points are used to highlight your accomplishment and specific contributions in each and every role you list in the work experience. So make sure you list all the work experiences you've gotten. But if you see something which is not so related to the job you're applying for, you can leave that one out, because it doesn't marry well with the job you are applying for. On to number 5, there's what we call education and sometimes certifications. So you need to provide information about your educational background, including the degrees you've had, the universities you attended. The graduation dates can be just months and years, and you need to include all the relevant certifications. Can be CPAs, certified public accountant, certified public secretaries, or name them. All those certifications, you can include them in the education and the certifications. The other thing you should not forget is workshops. If you have attended workshops in the past, you need to also include these in the CV, and also any other training programs that which are able to showcase your skills and the commitment to professional development in the job you are applying for. So don't forget that. Let's go on to item number 6. So number 6 is the skills item. You need to include skills which are related to the job you're applying for. So you should include a dedicated section of your skills, both technical and soft skills. There can be technical and technical skills, but they should all be in one item, which is called the skills. And you should highlight the skills that are directly related to the job requirements, the one you're applying for. That can be customer care, that can be customer service, collaborative. Those are skills which are directly related to the job which you're applying for. So you need to read through the requirements of the job before you apply for this job, because that is what is going to tell you the kind of skills you need to put in that list. So you can use specific examples or achievements to demonstrate your proficiency in those skills. You can demonstrate with a short example of what you are able to achieve. The seventh point is achievements and awards. So let's say, for example, you were awarded the best waiter, as the best chef in your company. You can use that. You can showcase any notable achievements, awards, recognition which you've received while working, including just a certificate of achievements. Those are things you can highlight in the achievement and award section if you are writing your CV. Another thing is you need to highlight specific, what do we call them, metrics, and those are metrics related to, for example, revenue growth, cost saving for the company, or a project you completed successfully for the company. Those are things you need to highlight in terms of achievements and awards, and you need to state them clearly so that the recruiter will see that you are a valuable person for the company. Number eight is keywords and action verbs. I usually read so many CVs, and I usually see that they miss keywords. And these keywords are what makes the CV to be ATS compliant. And that is why I usually say you should incorporate industry specific keywords and action verbs to make your CV stand out and demonstrate your expertise. So make sure that I use industry specific keywords. Depends which job you apply for. So let's say, for example, you're applying for a job as an IT technician. There are specific buzzwords or keywords which you should include in your CV to demonstrate that you have expertise in that particular field. The other one is you need to learn how to use what we call active language while describing your accomplishments and responsibilities. You can say achieved this and that while working for this and this company. So let's go on to point number 9. Number 9 is quantify your achievements. So let's say, for example, let's say for whenever it's possible, you need to quantify your achievements with numbers. For example, you should say that you are able to serve 1,000 customers in a duration of 1 year or 6 months. That is a quantifiable achievement, which again, the ATS, the computer softwares which are used to scourge through the CVs whenever there are many, they are looking for quantifiable achievements. That's numbers. And that adds credibility and helps the hiring managers understand the impact you can make if they hire you for the job they are looking for, the employee they are looking for. The 10th and the final item is to proofread and edit your CV. I cannot stress this enough because while writing your CV, you might find that you have grammatical and spelling errors, and that is why you need to proofread to remove these errors from your CV, because you can proofread this CV multiple times, or you can give someone to do the proofreading, or else you can use the artificial intelligence. Nowadays, it's very available, but don't rely on it so much, so that whether your CV, you can use Grammarly to see whether your CV it has any grammatical or spelling errors. So you can also check the consistency in formatting, fonts and styles, and overall presentation of the CV to ensure that it has the same formatting style, font styles, and generally it has a consistency in its format. And while at it, remember that a good CV should be clear, should be concise, and should be tailored for the job you are applying for. So with that, it should be able to effectively show you have skills and experiences and achievements, which then again can be valuable to the company with which you are applying for this job. So thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure that you apply for a job with the best CV. If you need my services for CV writing, check my number is in the description of these videos, and WhatsApp me and I'll do the CV for you. Thank you very much, and have yourself a good day.